Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
I trust this will suffice?
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar!
A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Oh.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you. by my hand.
I can. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
War is on the horizon. Before they command that I dry my pen, I must finish my final work. It is a tale of hope that may yet salvage this world. It isn't right. This idea of foreigners has only ever been a tool against the foreign. If we could end such prejudice, surely war would be next to fade. We would be free to travel to far-flung lands. The reality is, we are riddled with anxiety. We fight, we oppress, and magic is but a tool of war. Our world could be better. Can we not dream such dreams? In such a world, they need no sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and skilled labor. Glass spires reach the heavens, safe nights with no dark shadows, streets well-traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. I know, just a daydream. Castle on a cloud. Yet I have faith. I believe that fiction can become hope, wielded by a worthy avatar. I believe a hero will stand true and change the world. After all, this world need not stay like this forever. The will to believe in something beyond us, indeed that, is what we call fantasy.
I trust this will suffice.
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar!
A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Oh.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you. By my hand.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
Η κάμερα είναι για το Βούτσο, μισό λεπτό παιδιά. Πώς μπορώ να το φτιάξω αυτό? Ωραία, καλύτερα. Καλησπέρα. Auto save. Μου αρέσει πάντα να μπαίνω από τα manual save. παιδιά, με συγχωρείτε.
Good night.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I dreamed we were being chased around by a horde of giant sandworms. I barely got any rest at all.
Μη μου
And
θυμίζεις
Heisey
αυτό
behaved
το...
himself in the Gauntlet Runner. We should go check on him later. We also need to get some information out of Barden.
Αυτό το μέρος ήταν ό,τι χειρότερο.
Are you awake? Barden just sent word. A few children disappeared in the night.
Wait, but Heisey's in the Gauntlet Runner, right? If he's still bound there, that basically proves he's innocent. But if he's not, we need to get to the runner, quick.
Θα τον εκτελέσω.
Where's Stroll?
Speak, man. Are you all right? Where's Heisey? What happened here? Oh, he reeks of alcohol. Nuris, you old sot, don't tell me you drank yourself to sleep.
Heisey was blathering on about some things I found rather unnerving. So I had a little sup of the spirits to calm the nerves.
Wow. What a mess.
You witless... Maybe some cold water will wake you up, and if that water's not fixed yet, you're really in it!
You're really in it!
Now, what's all the commotion?
Ah, that was it! He kept scaring me, so I stuffed him into the lavatory to shut him up.
He says that like it makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
Don't look at me.
Anyway, one thing's for sure. Heisey was tied up the whole time, so he never set foot outside, right?
What's all this about frightening Nuris? I cannot imagine you suddenly felt compelled to share ghost stories.
I heard some strange sounds last night. I could tell they were footsteps, but not any I recognized. If it had anything to do with the disappearance of the residents, it could prove my innocence. That's why I spoke up.
I don't think he's lying. With all that fog, I couldn't find the source of the footsteps, but I found plenty of something else. Children's shoes. It was after midnight. No time for children to be out and about. I had the shoes checked at the guard station, and it looks like they belong to the missing children.
Then 'tis likely those footsteps belong to your true culprit.
But the guard said no one left town last night.
Nobody left? But that must mean the culprit is...
Inside the town?
Logically, yes.
If that's the case, I'd like to talk to Barden, but how much of this should we share with him?
If you ask me, it's time to lay out all you know. Taking me with you might help your case, too.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. To bring you before the very man responsible for the bounty on your head. I trust I need not illustrate the risk.
Risk or not, the real culprit's likely one of their own. If you hide me, they'll accuse you of harboring a known criminal. You all had it right. It's time I faced reality. A life on the run leaves no room for me to truly mourn my son.
Heisey.
Whatever the case, let's meet with Barden.
Well, I must say I couldn't hope you'd capture him so swiftly.
Something wrong? You don't look well. Got a face like you've just stumbled upon a dead man.
No, it's nothing. Just surprised you caught him.
Aye, you have my thanks. Clearly we were right to trust you. You'll get your payment in full.
Before that,
You get
I
your
want to ask
payment
you
in
one
full.
question. Why was Heisme the only suspect in this case?
One of the guard witnessed him firsthand. Go on, Morris, tell him.
On the night of the kidnappings, I spotted a Ujif bolting into the wilderness. Several times. No mistaking a squat figure like that. I'm telling you, what are the chances of there being 2 Ujif brigands in the area?
What did you say?
Strange. I don't recall the kidnappers' tribe being listed on the bounty poster. Even the captain seemed surprised, yet you alone knew this.
He's obviously our culprit.
Most strange. Heisme was already in our custody yesterday. In other words, the kidnappings of last night cannot be his doing.
Is this true?
Captain, I'm one of yours, aren't I? You're not gonna trust this little red-eyed bastard over me, are you?
There's also the testimony from the guard at the gate. He reported no one coming or going from the city.
You scabby bounty hunters think you can mock the guard corps like this? Just take your damn blood money and get the hell out of here!
Fine, fine. Keep your hair on. We'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
Is there a problem here? Pardon, may I interrupt?
No problem, ma'am.
Was that? Did you hear it, lad?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Now I see your game, you fiends.
What? He's gone!
No good. He's nowhere to be found. What's gotten into Heisme?
I got the impression he sensed something. If he'd meant to escape, he would have done it yesterday.
I think Barden's innocent in all this. The real scumbag here is Morris, his second in command. He framed Heisme with a false eyewitness testimony. Must have figured an exiled Ujif would be a perfect scapegoat.
So Morris, a would-be guard of the people, has been kidnapping the residents and selling them off.
Could be. And there's also those footsteps that old Heisme heard in the night.
Nuris is bound to have sobered up by now, right? Let's see how things are outside, and get back to the runner.
Are you coherent yet? I didn't take you as the sort to fall so hard into your cups.
Well, an icy bath like that would freshen anyone up.
It may be our only clue to tracking down the real culprit.
Ah, bloody hell. Yes, it's coming back a bit. It wasn't just Heisme's reports that shook me. No. I saw something. It was right after I slung Heisme into the bathroom. Out the window, I saw some massive shadow moving through the fog. It wasn't any beast or man of this world. It was a dark messenger, I tell you. A specter from the very bowels of hell. It was like the horrors of every fairy story from my schoolboy days sprung to Stygian life. I was shaken, chums. Shaken to my core. I cried out for help, grabbed for something to steady myself, and all I found was the bottle.
Είμαι σίγουρος ότι το παρενοχλούσαμε.
Even if there is some monster behind this, how would it connect with
Στο σχολείο θα
Norris?
είχε
I don't see why he would be compelled to hide this to the extent of framing Heisme.
True. Let's try investigating the lady's old castle. Heisme's bound to have a reason for bolting off like that.
No good. They said they haven't found Heisme yet. So they can't remove the blockade from the gate. Sounds like he's got them on a wild goose chase.
Fine.
What are our plans then? Should we just sneak in?
Evidently.
Just coming from over there. Is he calling for us? is Hazme with you? The guard at the gate said that they had not found him yet.
Good to say,
I'm the captain of the guard, and I have responsibility for the truth to know and uphold it. That's all it is about.
What folly.
Could have avoided all this trouble if you just chopped my head off to start with. All balls to love you. Why did you run off so suddenly? I did some investigating inside. The moment Lady Joanna cracked the door to the room, I heard the sound of a child scream. Lady Joanna is, well, she's childless. Whatever you heard, it cannot have been from her own family. No child could get into such a heavily guarded castle unnoticed. Your kidnapper has to be within these walls. My money's on Maurice being the weasel. He lied to our faces trying to get us to walk into a human's jaws.
It's absurd.
That's absurd. I cannot suffer him. I cannot... There's many of them. I cannot suffer him. Δεν μπορεί να φανταστεί. I cannot fathom. Δεν μπορώ να χειριστώ. Δεν μπορώ να... I cannot suffer him to kidnap any more innocent children. Please, will you help me put an end to this evil? I have nobody else to turn to.
Yeah.
Of course, after all, we can't use our head for the competition. We'll need a replacement anyway. We're in, right? Emmanuel?
Got it.
We don't have much choice in the matter.
And so? But then...
Seemed to us like no kidnapper could get victims of the castle on our watch. Not under all our noses. But there was an old underground tunnel that even the castle guards don't know about it. And Heismay's the man who found it. There'll be plenty of places to hide hostages down there. Moritz may have known about it as well. Right under the lady's mansion. That's bold. Okay, let's get to it then. Should be able to get there from Blindwell Alley at the end of Cattle Cracked Road. I've got to return to my post, but I'm counting on all of you. A well leading to an underground... what? Channel. Everyone's already headed to Blindwell Alley. We can get there by following Calraggy Road. So let's go there when you're ready.
What is it?
Hey. Hey.
Αυτό δεν είναι αγελάδα. Είναι κατσικό τραγωαγελάδα.
Hey, listen.
Αγελαδότραγος. Τραγωαγελάδα. Τραγωαγελάδα. Καλύτερα.
What now?
Έχουμε λεφτά.
All right then.
Έλα, κάνε ένα save σε περίπτωση που... σε περίπτωση που τα πράγματα δεν πάνε ρολόι. Η αλήθεια είναι πως δεν θέλω να σπαταλήσω το χρόνο μου για πράγματα που δεν έχω και πολύ ανάγκη.
Let's go.
I can hear the kidnapped children screaming underneath there. We must help them.
Now, where was I? now.
Τον έκανα γκάνερ αυτόν.
Ready?
Let's go.
We are the world. We are the children. So let's start giving.
However,
oh.
Yep, we're safe here.
Keep your wits about you.
Come on, get the bait moving already. If that thing goes out of control, we'll be dinner.
You can't run from us.
Please. Help.
The child yet lives.
Yeah.
Out of your jurisdiction now, aren't
Okay.
you? You're trespassers down here. That means anything that happens to you is your own damn fault.
If you've got something to say it to our faces. Even you must feel the weight of what you've done.
Eyes up. Something stirs in the back.
Are these the monsters we heard about?
No. Further back. 'Tis the footsteps in the night.
The bigger that beast back there grew, the more its watchdogs started changing with it. One of them's gonna make Amelia.
What has been happening here? Why do you kidnap the residents?
Why? Because premium bait's worth a fortune. How could they live on the wages of a guardsman forever?
You kidnap children for money? You utter scum!
This from a bloody-eyed Iceuffer. Look to your own sins, sir. You weren't just stripped of your knighthood. You were exiled. You're a coward who's been living in the hole you deserve. Didn't pretend you can play at justice now. You foil!
No, 'tis true in part. Tis why I stand here now. I ran from my past and turned away from my pain. You prey on innocent lives. Your sin will be repaid. Yet I cannot condemn you alone. Not when I could not see past my own suffering. Not when I locked myself away to be alone with my pain.
O lodestar, who falters in memory, O thou anguished traveler. Thy long stagnant stance hath finally been broken. Now choose thy path.
Choose? My choice is already made. You can't erase your past. All you can do is take it in hand and reshape your future.
Thank you. Thou hast chosen a noble parting. Henceforth, thy fears and insecurities are thy light. O lodestar, whose light reveals the king's own path, awaken.
I am Haisme Noctul. I believe the arc of life depends not upon birth. By these hands, soiled or sinless, I fight! Apologies, but I cannot do this alone.
Go! Rip them apart!
On guard! Morris, you will not escape me! Out of my way, fiends!
What's going on? He just started fighting with us. And even he awakened to his power.
Perchance 'tis through your influence that this power passed to him, Captain?
Oh, is this what Moore was talking about?
Young man, you seem the most adept with this magic. I will strike at your direction, if you might spare it. Rest assured, I once stood among the Shadow Guard, and the years have not dulled my edge.
Επιτέλους, τώρα το παιχνίδι είναι δίκαιο. Μας πήρανε 25 ώρες για να... πάνω από 20 ώρες για να έχουμε ένα τέταρτο μέλος στο... στις μονομαχίες. Με 4 μέλη όλα τα πράγματα τώρα είναι πιο, ρε παιδί μου, δίκαια. Με 3 μέλη ήταν πολύ δύσκολα. Δεν πιστεύω να είναι αδύναμο αυτό.
I can't afford to... Give me your aid! Fall! This is it! Missed!
Το τέλος του Arcane Season 1. Άμα ήταν χάλια.
Hulkenberg's been burned. If she gets hit, she's in big trouble.
With blade in hand! Shut up!
We'll do this together.
Coordination is key!
Let me help.
Quite a boon.
My thanks.
I'm obliged.
Let us clean up this. Now accept your fate. Slash! Formidable indeed.
Only a flesh wound.
Not good!
A blunder.
Hulkenberg's been burned. If she gets hit, she's in big trouble.
Are you prepared? Gunner! What a mess. Let's do this!
We'll combine our strengths.
Be ready for anything.
Thanks.
My turn.
Thank you. For all that we strive for! I crush you!
I will fight with pride. I won't hold back. Hold on.
Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
Let's go. Scour!
No.
Hulkenberg's badly here.
I still no. Not yet.
Hulkenberg's in bad shape. She needs
To the
help.
rear guard! Forward!
Hulkenberg's been
Hidden
burned.
arm!
She gets hit, she's in big trouble.
Let my power support you.
Rancor!
Rough time to go offensive. Moving to the rear. Gunner! Pierce! Not done yet.
Burns! To safer ground! With blade in hand! Are you alright?
I knew you'd help.
Much thanks.
I owe you.
Hulkenberg's been burned. If she gets hit,
I
she's
won't
in
hold
big
back.
trouble.
You better be sure. Maybe not.
You think yourself equal to a Iceuffer's agility? Face me!
Ha! Die!
Now, to the fore! Perhaps not. Withdrawing! No holding back! Let me rethink this. Gotcha!
Moving to the front! I'll destroy you! They yet cling to life.
Hulkenberg's been burned. She's in big trouble.
Not bad, if I say so myself. I admit, it feels good to get stronger. Stop! Damn! The bastard got away!
Σταμάτησα.
But the children are
Όχι
safe.
όμως πως το θέλω.
You saved them, Heisme.
You know that I used to have a child of my own. My son. He was killed. I could not even protect my own flesh and blood. Who could call me a knight? Since then, I've wondered what I had left to live for, and found few answers.
Is that why you lived in such a dangerous place? That you might be...
We need to chase down Morris first. He said something kind of weird back there, didn't he?
Regarding the watchdogs, he said they gradually turned more horrific the more the monster grew.
Do you think that's the effect of the melancholia? I expect anything further in will be even more malformed than...
But why root all this in the basement of the lady's own domain? Clearly, someone is invested in Morris's efforts. But who would finance this?
I can't say for certain. Still, from the very beginning, this has felt beyond the realm of any sane, moral person.
And to think this started as a simple bounty contract. We've set foot in something far bigger, I think.
Let's get these poor youngsters back to Baden for now.
Sure.
Sure.
You saved the wee ones' lives. We can't thank you enough.
No, we just did what had to be done.
It had to be done.
I know this is difficult to hear, but Morris had a hand in this the whole time. He confessed as much to us.
Aye. I found out the man's been struggling to pay off all manner of gambling debts. I'll round up the guard and search the whole bloody castle for him.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you'd be outmatched. However, it would be a great help to us if your guards could prevent anyone from leaving the grounds.
Considering everything, I can't help but think the Lady Joanna's got to be in on this somehow.
But the woman is a respected sanctoress. Besides which, she's the one who funded the initial request.
I'll tell you this. Hard as we've looked, we can't find a sniff of Lady Joanna herself.
We're here for our own reasons. Whoever we find down there, we're not going to stay our blades. Any objections?
None for me. Do as you will, and I'll trust in Lady Joanna's innocence. Indeed, for all we know, the culprit may be holding her hostage.
In order to break the prince's curse, I'll need to make an impression during the tournament. I must accomplish something that would catch Louis's eye. Besides, I think we're the only ones who can handle getting to the bottom of this. And we'll do it not just for ourselves, but the town as well.
I too have a score that needs settling. I cannot let these atrocities continue, especially not in my name. I believe in you.
Haisme, a traditional warrior burdened by his past, has become your ally. Iceuffer.
Considering we're due in Oceania in a matter of days, we've little time to tarry here.
Our foes may be strong, but they're also trapped like rats in the basement. We'll use the old well to get in and out.
I left Haisme to calm down a little in the Gauntlet Runner as he wished, and decided to return to the inn with everyone else. Ωραία παιδιά, τα λέμε. Bye.